22 years of pain, hope, heartbreak, and endless waiting. For over 2 decades, Arsenal fans watched other clubs celebrate while they held onto memories of a golden past. The Invincibles, Thierry Henry, Highbury, Arsene Wenger, those memories became history. Believed Arsenal would never return to the top of English football again, but in the 2025-26 season everything changed. Under Mikel Arteta, Arsenal finally conquered England once more. This is the story of how the Gunners rose from years of disappointment to becoming Premier League champions again. The fall after the Invincibles. To understand this achievement, we must go back to where the pain began. In 2003-04, Arsenal created history by going unbeaten in the Premier League. The Invincibles became immortal, but after that magical season, cracks slowly began to appear. The following year, Arsenal finished second behind Chelsea. Then came the departures. Patrick Vieira left. Thierry Henry eventually moved to Barcelona. Robin van Persie later joined rivals Manchester United. Little by little, Arsenal's legendary core disappeared. At the same time, Chelsea's financial power under Roman Abramovich changed English football forever. Soon after, Manchester City became another unstoppable force backed by enormous wealth. Arsenal struggled to compete financially while building the Emirates Stadium. The club focused on youth development and smart signings. But trophies became rare, year after year. Fans watched their dreams slip away. Years of heartbreak. There were moments of hope. Arsenal challenged for the title in 2007-08 before collapsing late in the season. They won FA Cups in 2014, 2015, 2017, and 2020. But the Premier League remained out of reach. Every season seemed to end the same way. Near misses, injuries, pressure, disappointment. In 2018, Arsene Wenger finally left after more than 2 decades at the club. It was the end of an era. Unai Emery arrived next, but Arsenal looked lost, defensively weak, mentally fragile, disconnected from its identity. By 2019, Arsenal fans were desperate for hope. The arrival of Mikel Arteta. Then came a young coach with a vision, Mikel Arteta, a former Arsenal captain, a student of Pep Guardiola, a man who understood the soul of the club. When Arteta arrived in December 2019, Arsenal were struggling badly. The team lacked confidence, the squad lacked balance, and fans lacked belief. The early months were difficult. Criticism came quickly, but Arteta stayed calm. He focused on discipline, structure, mentality, culture. Wanted to rebuild Arsenal from the ground up, not with shortcuts, but with identity, building a new Arsenal slowly. The transformation began. Arteta built a team, hungry to fight for the badge. Young stars became leaders. Bukayo Saka evolved into one of the best wingers in world football. Martin Odegaard became the creative heartbeat of the team. William Saliba transformed Arsenal's defense into one of the strongest in Europe. Declan Rice brought leadership and control in midfield. And then came a major signing. Viktor Gyökeres, top powerful, aggressive, clinical. Gyökeres gave Arsenal the killer instinct they had been missing for years. This was no longer a team that played beautiful football without purpose. This Arsenal side was ruthless. The painful near misses before glory finally arrived. There was more heartbreak. In the 2022-23 season, Arsenal led the league for months before Manchester City overtook them late in the campaign. The same thing happened again in 2023-24 and once more in 2024-25. 3 painful seasons. 3 missed opportunities. Questions began to grow louder. Could Arteta really win the league? Did Arsenal have the mentality of champions? Many doubted them, but inside the club, belief never disappeared. The championship season, then came the historic 2025-26 campaign. From the very first match, Arsenal looked different, stronger, calmer, more mature. The defense became almost impossible to break down. William Saliba led the back line like a general. Declan Rice controlled the midfield battles. Saka delivered goals and assists every single week, and Viktor Gyökeres terrorized defenders across England. Arsenal mixed defensive discipline with explosive attacking football. At the Emirates Stadium, opponents suffered. The fans turned the stadium into a fortress. Corner kicks became deadly weapons. Counterattacks became lightning fast. This Arsenal team no longer feared pressure. They embraced it. The turning point, the defining moment came around Christmas, while Manchester City showed small signs of weakness. Arsenal accelerated. Victory after victory followed. They defeated title rivals Manchester City and Liverpool in massive matches, even when injuries arrived. The squad responded together. Leandro Trossard stepped up. The entire squad fought like champions. Unlike previous seasons, Arsenal did not collapse under pressure. They learned from every painful failure. The moment everything changed, then came May 19, the day Arsenal fans had waited 22 years to see. Manchester City drew 1-1 with Bournemouth, and suddenly it was official. Arsenal were Premier League champions. Again, North London exploded with emotion. Fans cried. Players celebrated. Generations of supporters finally witnessed the return of glory, from the Invincibles of 2004 to Arteta's Warriors of 2026. The dream was alive again. Why this title means more. This was not just another trophy. This title represented resilience. Arsenal suffered years of criticism, years of mockery, years of rebuilding, but they stayed loyal to the process. Arteta proved that patience, vision, and belief still matter in modern football. This victory was not bought overnight. It was built slowly, painfully, step by step, the emotional ending. Football is filled with stories of success, but the greatest stories are about redemption. Arsenal's return to the top is not only about winning the Premier League, it is about refusing to give up after years of failure. It is about rebuilding a fallen giant. It is about fans who continued believing when the world laughed at them. After 22 years of heartbreak, Arsenal finally came home, and now the red side of North London stands proudly on top of English football once again. If you enjoyed this documentary, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more football documentaries, deep analysis, and legendary stories from around the world. This is Global Pulse 1. Thanks for watching.